So welcome to this session on ureter and urinary bladder. We'll start with ureter first. The ureters are, we all of us know that two muscular tubes which connect kidney to the urinary bladder, and the length of the ureter is 10 inches. Out of this 10 inches, 5 inch is in abdomen and 5 inch is in pelvis. The diameter of the ureter is 3 millimeters. Now this is very important for us to know, because whenever you will read a report of a ureteric stone and they will say that the stone is 12 millimeters. So 12 millimeter stone will not pass through a 3 millimeter ureter and it has to be surgically treated. Maximum 7 millimeter stone can pass through 3 millimeter diameter ureter by dilating it by hydrotherapy. But beyond 1 centimeter, it is very difficult. And that is one reason we should be knowing the anatomy of the ureter. We know that the ureter starts, of course, there is pelvis of the ureter, which is a dilatation. Not, we cannot actually call it as a the ureter. Sometimes they say start from here, but this is called as the pelvis of the ureter. And at the pelvis of the ureter, we get the first constriction of the ureter, and then the ureter continues down, okay, and crosses the brim of the pelvis, where we get the second constriction of the ureter. And when the ureter enters the urinary bladder, that is the point. So here we get one constriction, here we get one constriction, and here we get one constriction. So a normal ureter shows 3 constrictions. All of you have seen that the esophagus shows 4 constrictions in its course. So now we have come across another organ which shows constrictions, and they are 3 in number. The relations of the ureter. Firstly, I'll talk about the relations of the right and the left ureter are different. First, we will talk about the abdominal relations. Now, suppose this is the right ureter, and here is so this is the right ureter. So how to remember the relations? Right side and left side. Very easy if you can relate. There is right colic artery anteriorly here, and here there is left colic artery. So one colic artery has an anterior relation. This side there is root of mesentery, and this side there is root of sigmoid mesocolon. So one mesentery. This is the root of mesentery on the right side, and the root of sigmoid mesocolon. Okay. Then the right gonadal artery. And left gonadal artery. So 3 relations on each side. Right colic, left colic, root of mesentery, root of sigmoid mesocolon, right gonadal artery, left gonadal artery. Okay. Let's write the posterior relations of the ureter. The posterior relations of the ureter is ureter lies on the psoas major muscle. And that's why the Irritation of the ureter can cause psoas spasm. It lies on the tips of the transverse processes. The posterior relation is tips of the transverse processes. Now, why this is important? This is important radiologically. Because in a soft tissue X-ray, you may not be able to see the ureter, but you will be able to see the vertebrae, the lumbar vertebrae. And then when you see the lumbar vertebrae, along the tips of the transverse processes will be the ureter. You may not see the ureter, but you may see a stone like this. And then you realize that, oh, this stone is lying in the line of the tips of the transverse processes. That means this stone is lying in the ureter. So this relation is very important. So these were the relations of the abdominal part. Anteriorly right colic, left colic, root of mesentery, root of sigmoid mesocolon, right gonadal, left gonadal, posteriorly psoas major, tips of transverse processes, genitofemoral nerve. Now let's talk about the relations of the pelvic part. In the pelvic part, it has a forward course and then a backward course. Okay. If you look from the side, the ureter goes like this, a downward course and then a forward course. Firstly, there is downward course and then a forward course going into the ureter, into the urinary bladder. Downward and forward. Okay, so pelvic part is also 5 inches, and that 5 inches is further divided into a downward course and a forward course. If you look at the bladder from the posterior aspect, these are the two ureters opening, and they are crossed by the vas deferens. They are crossed by the vas deferens. It goes down like this. And here are the seminal vesicles. So vas deferens crosses it from lateral to medial side. From lateral to medial side. Okay. In females also, suppose this is the uterus, and here is the ureter, and it is also crossed something from lateral to medial side, and that is by the uterine artery. Very important anatomical relation. This is the uterus. These are the uterine tubes. This is the uterine artery, and this is the ureter. Uterus, ureter, uterine artery crossing it from lateral to medial side, going very close to the ureters. This relation is important because during hysterectomy, if you are doing a procedure of removal of the uterus, we need to ligate this artery. So by ligating the artery, if we ligate the ureters also, the urine output of the patient stops, the patient develops hydronephrosis, toxicity, uremia, all complications. Okay, so one has to be very careful that while ligating the uterine artery during removal of the uterus, which is hysterectomy, that one doesn't ligate the ureters. Okay. The nerve supply of the ureter, very important. T10 to L1. Okay. And that is how the pain is referred always from loin to groin. Okay. The pain is referred in this region from loin to groin. That's how the pain goes in a renal colic, in a ureteric colic. Okay. The blood supply of the ureter, upper part gets it from the renal artery, middle part gets from the branches of the aorta, and the lower part gets from the vesical arteries, okay, which are the bladder arteries, because it is close to the kidney in the upper part from the renal artery, in the middle part by aorta, and lower part by vesical artery. I want to keep it short, so finishing it in only one page. Applied anatomy, we write about the renal colic, okay, with the ureteric stone will cause pain, which will be transmitted along T11 to L2, okay, and this pain goes from loin to groin because of this nerve supply T10 to L1. So therefore T11 to L1, L2, this pain gets transmitted from loin to groin. Okay, so that's all about the ureter.